Imagine standing at the intersection of science, capital, and belief, where the next great technological revolution is taking shape not in silicon, but in sulfides. That's where Solid Power Incorporated, ticker symbol SLDP, exists today. As of November 6th, 2025, its shares hover around $8.50, marking a period of renewed optimism after a surge driven by industrial partnerships and government endorsement. If you're watching this on Shorts, tap the full version link below to experience the complete story without interruption. This is one you'll want to hear in full. The company's origins go back to 2011, when a small group of materials scientists in Louisville, Colorado, decided to solve one of the oldest paradoxes in energy storage: how to make batteries both powerful and safe. Traditional lithium-ion batteries, the foundation of modern electrification, use liquid electrolytes that conduct ions efficiently, but come with high flammability and aging issues. A solid-state battery, by contrast, replaces the liquid with a solid electrolyte, offering higher energy density, faster charging, and far greater safety. The challenge is immense. Manufacturing solid materials without defects requires an entirely new production approach. Solid Power's founders believed sulfide-based electrolytes could bridge that gap. In 2018, Ford Motor Company validated that belief by signing a joint development agreement, a highly unconventional move for an automaker, which typically works only with large, proven battery suppliers. Ford's partnership sent a clear message: solid-state technology was no longer theoretical. It was becoming a race to industrialize the future. 3 years later, in June 2021, Solid Power announced a merger with Decarbonization Plus Acquisition Corporation 3, taking it public on December 8th. Most battery firms go public only after achieving large-scale production. Solid Power did it early, signaling that investors were funding potential rather than immediate profit. The company's debut symbolized Wall Street's readiness to bet on the promise of solid-state batteries as the next generational leap in energy storage. By mid-2022, Solid Power built its first pilot cell line, capable of producing roughly 15,000 test cells per year, several times the scale typical for early-stage labs. But what truly set it apart was its model. Instead of spending billions on gigafactories, the company focused on selling its proprietary sulfide-based electrolytes and licensing its battery designs. In an industry obsessed with vertical integration, this was an audacious decision, trading factory ownership for agility, capital efficiency, and partnership flexibility. In November 2023, the company achieved a milestone few startups reach. It delivered its first A-sample EV cells to BMW for qualification testing. In the automotive supply chain, the A-sample phase is where technology meets real-world validation, a bridge between the lab and the road. Reaching this stage so quickly meant Solid Power's chemistry was both stable and scalable. Investors began to see it as more than a research firm. It had become a serious industrial contender. Momentum accelerated in 2024. On January 16th, Solid Power announced 3 contracts with SK On: a research license, a pilot line installation in South Korea, and a material supply agreement. Usually, companies sign such deals in phases, but SK On's simultaneous commitment suggested confidence that Solid Power's technology was ready for production integration. Then, in September, the U.S. Department of Energy selected Solid Power for negotiations on up to $50 million in funding to build a continuous electrolyte manufacturing line, a rare grant size for a pre-commercial company. It showed the government viewed Solid Power as strategically vital for domestic clean energy competitiveness. By year's end, Ford extended its joint development agreement through 2025, underscoring long-term commitment despite economic uncertainty. Financially, Solid Power closed 2024 with about $20 million in revenue, a $97 million net loss, and over $320 million in cash reserves, enough to fund multiple years of R&D. In May 2025, BMW publicly showcased an i7 prototype powered entirely by Solid Power's solid-state cells, an extraordinary move. Automakers rarely install pre-commercial batteries into public concept cars. Doing so implied BMW had reached a new level of trust in the technology's performance. It wasn't just a prototype anymore. It was a statement of confidence. Then came late October and early November 2025. Solid Power revealed a three-way collaboration with Samsung SDI and BMW. Solid Power would supply its sulfide electrolytes, Samsung would produce the cells, and BMW would validate them at the vehicle level. In the battery industry, such tri-party structures are nearly unheard of. Normally, automakers and battery manufacturers partner directly, with material providers playing a secondary role. Solid Power's elevation to an equal seat at the table signaled a structural shift. It was now a core enabler of the solid-state ecosystem. The market responded instantly. The stock surged more than 50% in days, breaking past its 50-day and 200-day moving averages. Traders flooded in, betting on what they called the first true commercialization wave of solid-state technology. Still, with excitement comes risk. Scaling continuous production is complex. Precision control, yield consistency, and cost management all represent steep hurdles. Many companies falter here, and Solid Power is not immune. Its partnership with Samsung and the DOE's funding mitigate that risk, but success will hinge on flawless execution. Today, Solid Power's narrative has matured from speculation to strategic positioning. Its asset-light model, once viewed as conservative, now looks pragmatic in a capital-intensive market. With strong liquidity, blue-chip partnerships, and government backing, the company stands as a potential cornerstone of the next energy revolution. For traders, the near-term range sits between $8 and $9, with $7 as a healthy correction point and $10 to $12 as the midterm upside if momentum continues. Long-term investors looking out 18 to 36 months may eye 15 to 20 if commercialization stays on track. This is not just a story about one company. It's about how an industry transforms when vision meets validation. Each partnership, each grant, each prototype reveals a step closer to a world powered by safer, faster, and more efficient batteries. For those willing to navigate volatility with discipline, Solid Power represents not just a stock, but a front row seat to the future of energy. To all of you who watch, subscribe, like, comment, and share these videos, thank you for being part of this journey. Your engagement drives us to bring sharper analysis, deeper insights, and better stories every time. We'll keep working to earn that trust, one breakthrough at a time. This was Value